Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice, where with the rousing Edgeworth's theme, we continue our case to learn about time traveler with a young Miss Wyatt, a bride-to-be, now suspected of murder of a very gloomy guy, it seems. We'll wonder what exactly happened, but we're trying to find evidence, as with Maya now helping us and Larry not helping us, we continue on. Edgeworth, I figured that car belonged to you. But when did you become Maya's chauffeur? It's nothing like that. I just happened to run into her en route and picked her up. And by run into her, I mean she jumped out in front of my car. I nearly ran her down. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's a friend of mine, and the district's chief prosecutor. I heard he's been busy lately. So what brings you here? Wait, don't tell me Larry called you up too. He did. However, I have business of my own here at the crime scene. Business? What kind of business? Yep, he's the prosecutor. Just so you know, Wright, I'm the lead prosecutor on this case. What? You? Yes. It appears we'll be standing on opposite ends of the battlefield this time around. So I'll be up against Edgeworth tomorrow. But I don't get it, Edgeworth. What about this case warrants the personal attention of the district's chief prosecutor? It's a bit complicated, to say the least. In what way? The groom is a member of the Sprockets, a family of immense influence. If his bride was to stand trial in court, it would sully the Sprocket name. So they tried to apply some pressure on the prosecutor's office. Pressure to settle it amicably, right? What do you mean, settle it amicably? It means that they're trying to sweep this whole thing under the rug. Wow, Sprocket Aviation really has that much clout. Yes. They have especially strong ties in both the political and the judicial worlds, to the point where no one dares to oppose them. Don't tell me that includes you. Don't be ridiculous, Wright. It's quite the opposite. The prosecutor's office is filled with cowards, I found out. Every last one of my subordinates was loath to prosecute a Sprocket. So that's why you decided to take on the case yourself, right? That's right. I will personally see to it that justice is served. I always prosecute to the utmost of my abilities regardless of who I'm up against. Well, that is part of my creed. Nothing and no one can sway me from that, not even the almighty Sprockets. Right. If they think they can use their influence to bend the truth, they have another thing coming. You know, I almost feel sorry for them. They were only trying to protect their interests. But all they got instead was you. Edgy! Come on, man! How can you prosecute my poor sweet Ellie? What kind of heartless jerk are you? I'm simply doing my job. And I'm warning you, Wright. I won't hold back. Not for you or anyone else. Thanks for the warning, your righteousness. Why would you hold back? Edge, we trust you. So, how's it going, Mr. Chief Prosecutor? Busy as always, I presume. Of course. Unlike somebody who has too few clients and too much time on his hands. Guess that explains why your brow was more furrowed than the last time I saw you. Maybe you should learn to relax a little, Edgeworth? Nice try, right? But as always, I have no intention of showing anyone any mercy. Including you. As inflexible as ever, I see. Besides, I think I've mellowed out a bit with age. So if anything, those furrows should have smoothed out a little as well. Honestly, Edgeworth, are you really that blind to yourself? Excuse me? He's really self-conscious about those lines, isn't he? Edgeworth, about this incident. Don't forget, Wright, I'm the prosecutor for this case. Need I remind you that I'm not in the habit of sharing information with my adversaries, there we go. No, I guess we are adversaries for now. And you, Larry? Me? I'd like you to come with me. You have a lot to answer for after that little stunt you pulled with the suspect. But Edgy, we're all pals, aren't we? Personal appeals won't work on me, Larry. Now come along. Nick! Help me out here! Larry in the trunk. Off they go. Is it just me, or is Mr. Edgeworth as relentless as ever? Yeah, I guess some things never change. So much for mellowing out. Well, Nick, we'd better hop to it too. Hop to what? Investigating the crime scene, of course. What else? It's been a long time since you and I teamed up like this. This is gonna be fun. Fun, huh? It has been a long time, though, since we were last together like this. Alright. To the crime scene, then. Yeah, and away we go. But first, Maya, we talked to you. Any ideas about me, you, and a flying chapel? Might as well jump right in, I guess. So, what do you think? Well, let's see. I think the inside of Mr. Edgeworth's car smells heavenly. No. Apart from Edgeworth's car. I mean, do you have any ideas about this case? Sorry. I can't think of a thing. But what are we wasting all this time with thinking for? There's investigating to be done. Ooh, I can't wait to see what kind of evidence we'll find. You seem really excited. You bet, Nick. The dynamic duo is back in the saddle again. Let's go round 'em up, partner. Alright, let's get to it then. No! What do we do? What do we do? Tell me more, Maya. So what do you think we should do, Maya? Isn't it obvious? We start by investigating every single place that has anything to do with the case. And then grill every single person involved. Her enthusiasm is kind of overwhelming. Now, go forth, Phoenix Wright. Search out the truth. Well, don't just stand there. Say something. Yes, ma'am? Louder! Yes, ma'am! That's more like it. Well, let's go out and search for the truth. Where are we moving to? Can we board it? Quite easily by the look of things. I guess flying cows or bulls, more bulls than cows, of course, are their emblem, mascot, whatever. So this is the reception hall. According to the pamphlet, which I should have looked at, we're right here. Yikes, we're pretty high up, but at least we're indoors, so it doesn't seem so bad. Is there anything else in that pamphlet, by the way? Let's check it out now. Just that? Nope, there's 2 other pages. So there's the Vista Deck, the it was like a Pegasus cow, Pega-cow lantern, and a Pega-bull. Pega-cow, Pega-bull, a sweetheart table. I guess there's female and male for the bride and the groom side, but whatever. Flying Chapel pamphlet. Love is always in the air on the Flying Chapel, the only wedding venue sure to make your dreams take flight. At the ceremony out on the Vista Deck, Sprocket Aviation's majestic Pegamoo mascots will light up the happy couple from both sides of the sweetheart table. Ha! We had our mascot. It was a small black cockerel hanging above us while we got married. Me and my wife. She's strange. Oh, look, Nick. It's Emma. Hey, Emma. Over here. Mr. Wright. Maya. Does this mean you've taken the case? Yeah, that's how things kind of turned out. So do you mind if we take a look around? Be my guest. We've pretty much wrapped up our investigations, so go right ahead. That's a good chance to find out more about the case from Emma, too. Go on then, Emma. You've been doing some forensicing. What happened, Emma? Edgeworth wouldn't tell us anything about this case. So do you think you could give us a rundown? Well, seeing as he's going to be prosecuting, I expect him to be tight-lipped about it. The incident occurred yesterday on September 20th. It happened after the wedding reception, which lasted from 7 PM to 10 PM. 7 PM to 10 PM, huh? Got it. By the way, you didn't hear about any time traveling or anything, did you? Time traveling? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Forget it. That's pretty much the response I expected. The victim's name is Dumas Gloomsbury. I wouldn't say Doomand. He was a servant in the Sprocket family household. Oh, was he? Ellen was a maid for that family as well, so that means the 2 of them were co-workers. Yes, they apparently knew each other. Mr. Gloomsbury was the lead servant, after all. He was very serious about his work, but he was also a very closed and private man. So the other servants called him Mr. Doom and Gloom behind his back. Well, you would do, wouldn't you? With that name. If he was the lead servant, he must have been higher ranked than Ellen. What makes the police think Ellen killed this man? A guy who was essentially her boss. We don't know the defendant's motive yet, but the circumstances surrounding the discovery of the body don't bode well for her. And what circumstances are these exactly? Well, some of her in-laws saw what looked like the immediate aftermath of the murder. The suspect was standing in front of the body with the murder weapon still in her hands. Why would a bride who was just about to start a happy new life kill someone? Do the police have an explanation for that? Yeah, about that. They believe the victim attacked the suspect and was killed when she fought back. But why did he attack her to begin with? Well, a mere servant girl was going to suddenly be the wife of the future president. Mr. Gloomsbury must have been more than just a little jealous of her. So this Mr. Doom and Gloom attacked Ellen first. But if she was only trying to protect herself, wouldn't that count as justified self-defense on her part, Nick? It would. There's a good chance she'd be acquitted if we could prove that, but I wonder what Edgeworth will have up his sleeve to counter that claim. But wow, a servant girl marrying the future president of such a huge company. It sounds like a modern-day fairy tale. It does, doesn't it? Thing is, not everyone was on board with their union, apparently. Okay. A star-crossed marriage it wasn't. But what was the murder weapon, first of all? So what was the murder weapon, Emma? This clock with a secret mechanism built into it. It was on display here in the reception hall. The suspect was holding it when the murder was discovered. So the victim was clubbed to death with this, huh? But that's funny. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. Maybe it was wiped off in an attempt to tamper with the evidence. But there was definitely a luminol reaction. And it matches up with the shape of the injury, so it's got to be the murder weapon. Test the blood, maybe? What a funny looking clock. They call it the timekeeper. The idea is that it's a time machine. Every time the couple sees it, it'll bring them back to the memory of their wedding day. A time machine, huh? Come to think of it, Ellen said her pendant was a part of a time machine. I wonder how the secret mechanism in this thing works. So the timekeeper has now been added to the court record. The murder weapon. A star-crossed marriage. How come? The suspect never had any family or relatives to depend on, so she was working as a live-in maid for the Sprocket family to support herself. So a maid with no family or fortune was set to marry the president's son, huh? I guess it's not surprising that that ruffled a feather or two. Yes, apparently the groom's parents and all of his other relatives were strongly opposed, but that didn't stop the young couple from deciding to go ahead with their wedding. Love flourishes in the face of adversity. Oh, is that how it works? Yep, if you ever have any questions about love, just ask me. I'm a qualified expert. I spend all of my spare time in Khura'in watching soap operas on TV. I'm not sure that's enough to make you a qualified anything, Maya. Oh, and by the way, I heard the suspect faced a fair share of harassment too. And from the sound of it, it got pretty ugly for her. So even though this incident could cause a huge scandal for the company, it might be a boon for those who opposed their marriage to begin with. After all, with Ellen's arrest and everything, the marriage is most definitely off now. Ooh, anything else to get from you? Is it time to examine, maybe? It's investigation time. Look what's on the floor there. This would be the lantern the body was found in. Ellen managed to move it quite a ways. It looks like a cow, but it's pretty badly broken. That's not a cow, Nick. That's Pegasus, the flying horse. No way, it's definitely a cow. It's got horns and everything. But look, it has wings. Cows don't have wings. So it's Pegasus, I tell you. Huh. Oh, I know. That pamphlet should tell us. Let's see. Apparently, it's called a pegamoo. I did not see that coming. Yet, somehow, the name really captures the essence of what this creature is, you know. Huh. That's strange. What is it? Well, this pegamoo. It's definitely a male pegabull, right? Yeah, I'd say so. What with the horns and all. Okay, well... that pegamoo over there is also a pegabull. But take a look at the pamphlet. See? The one on the right says pegabull, but... The other one says peg a cow. A female pegamoo. Right. The pamphlet goes on to say how they have pegamoos for the happy couple. So for Ellen's ceremony, there should have been a male and female pair of pegamoos. But for some reason, there are 2 males here. Maybe somebody made a mistake when they were setting up the room? It's hard to believe a fancy place like this would make that kind of blunder, though. A broken lantern has been added to the court record. Of course, that's not the only interesting thing on this scene. In any case, we better check this thing out. Let's check to the left. Is that a blood-covered thing? Did this come from the lantern? It's covered in blood. Maybe it got on there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern? Can you imagine going to open a door and find the knob covered with blood? That'd be bloody awful, to say the least. A pun that would not go down well in America. That's a swear word! Ugh. Hey, what's this? Oh, let me take a look. Grab Ellen when convenient, then send her off from the Vista deck. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. Whoever wrote it has better handwriting than me, but it looks like they wrote it in a rush. And why'd you say that? Because the writing is only smudged starting from the middle of each line. That happens when a right-handed person with a slight hook writes in a hurry. I do sometimes myself when I'm not paying attention to where my hand is on the page. Guess I'll take your word on that, Miss Bad Handwriting Expert. Hey, even I don't smudge my handwriting this badly. Alright, let's get back to the note. That note was apparently written by the victim. But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Are you sure the victim wrote it? I sometimes write a note to myself before I go shopping. Potatoes, carrots, onions, flour. Maya, are you craving curry rice or something? Whoops. So, Emma, where's this Vista deck the note mentions? It's that heliport you see right outside the window over there. So he planned on pushing Ellen off from there. What a monster. Also, they've got a heliport on top of a Zeppelin? Isn't that crazy? Oh, let's check out more. Huh. What do you think this is, Maya? It looks like a flower petal to me. What an unusual shape for a flower petal. Do you suppose it's from one of the flowers here in the reception hall? No, I don't see a single flower like this at any of the tables. I wonder where it come from. Not something to add to our court record then. So this is where the body was found. And the first person to find it was Ellen. Emma, what can you tell me about the condition of the body when it was found? Let's see. The victim was apparently hit on the back of the head. Here's a photo of the scene as we found it. The photo of the victim has been added to the court record. Was discovered inside one of the lanterns in the reception hall. I guess that about does it for this lantern. There's still other stuff to expect there, but obviously it's not actually anything of interest. For what reason, we do not know why it's not of interest, but still. Modern airplane, the perfect decoration for an airline company wedding. And a propeller plane that lifts into the room a great old-timey feel. Oh, I'd love to see the Steel Samurai fly a plane like this. Can you picture it? Steel Samurai zipping through the clouds over Niori, Tokyo? If Rocket Aviation ever becomes a sponsor of the show, I can see it happening. Why didn't I think of that? I think I'll go suggest the idea to them later. Please at least wait until after the trial is over. Alright, let's check the balloon. It's a hot air balloon, a symbol of humanity's ambition to take to the skies. It's kind of a romantic notion, don't you think? Yeah, but I just noticed that it doesn't seem to be tied up to the ceiling all that well. I'm sure it's fine. Please don't let it fall on my head. So it's off kilter. That's an interesting thing to look at too. Let's move right up here then. This is the sweetheart table where the bride and groom sit. Where they gorge themselves on the wedding feast, you mean? I'd be too nervous to eat in front of a bunch of guests like this, though. They say the newlyweds are usually really busy during the reception, you know. They have to greet and talk with all the guests that came to give their blessings. They don't actually get all that much time to enjoy their dinner. That's exactly right. Didn't get any, in fact, until the after-do. Didn't get anything at the reception, and then got a bit of the after-do. A bit of time to sit with the family, after we were finally given the time to do that. But it's just, it's crazy. You don't. You pay for everything, you don't really get to sample it. Huh, wouldn't be able to stand that. I can't imagine having a huge feast right in front of me and not being able to eat it. They say brides tend to have an especially hard time because of their wedding dresses. With those tight corsets squeezing their waists, they can barely eat a bite. Really? It sounds like wedding receptions are absolute torture. I guess food still wins out over romance in Maya's books. No, Maya! We need romance! So that's the Vista deck out there. I bet the view is amazing. Well, I guess it must also kind of freak you out, huh, Nick? Yeah, kind of. Mostly because there's no surviving a fall from way up here. Anything else to check out here? This must be where the time machine was placed. I can't believe that such a beautiful memento was used for murder. It's just awful. Nick, we have to prove Ellen's innocence no matter what it takes. I agree. We can't let this go down as the saddest flying wedding reception in history. I think that about does it for this area. Okay then, I guess we're checking out the Pegabull. Wow, look at the horns of this flying bovine. He must be a bull. Seems he made it through the ceremony in one piece. Well, look at those wheels. I bet he can be rolled around rather easily too. Yeah, I bet it would be quite a hassle if you had to lift and carry him everywhere. And this is what the backside looks like. What's that by the bottom of his tail? A wheel handle. It's a Trojan Pegaboo! Oh, I get it. This is where they can get inside to change the light bulbs. I see they left the wheel handle on the inside unpainted. I guess they figured nobody will see it, so why bother? It makes sense to cut costs where you can. Well, overall, I can't say I see anything strange about this thing. You can't say, but that's just told us that the white handle was inside the bull. So if blood was streaming, it sounds like he was in the bull at the time rather than on the outside. Knocked into the bull. That is a thought. Let's rotate. It's a fog machine. I wonder if they used it during the reception. Ooh. Hey, Nick, go stand over there for a sec. Why? Just because. Now, go! No, all right. I've got a bad feeling about this. Fogmaster 9000 on! Maya, no! Huh? Nothing happened. It's like it won't work without some dry ice. Darn it, all I wanted to do was surround you in a thick cloud of smoke. The fog machine has been added to the court record, a device that utilizes dry ice to emit a large amount of thick, fog-like vapor. Okay, now that's checked out. What else do we have to look at? A screen. I wonder what this partition is for. I imagine people like the reception staff or entertainers use it. They probably wait behind it when they're on standby. I see. With a partition this size, I bet they could even fit an elephant back there. Not that anyone's saying would. An elephant? Or a Pegabull? You never know. Nothing about the moorings of this, by the look of it. The door. Gotta love that huge set of doors. I've had all sort of things come and go through there. Like an elephant? I'm pretty sure it's just the bride and groom. This is a banquet hall, not a circus. Okay, nothing else to check there. The other side, another dry icy machine. Let's try that one then. It's a fog machine for the reception. Pretty cool, huh? Don't you dare touch it. Ah, Sport. That's because I know how you operate. Does that one have any dry ice in it? Obviously not. Another partition. That's one big partition screen. Industrial size even. I bet it'd cause an industrial size mess if it fell over. And that's why you're not allowed to touch it, Maya. What? Then who's going to test how stable it is? Just leave it alone, please. Wow, what else is there to check out? Oh, hello. It looks like a business card wallet. I wonder whose it is. I think we know. That face looks awfully familiar. Yes it does. Guess I'll bring it to him later. The business card wallet has now been added to the court record. A peculiar yet suspiciously familiar imprint in the center. And so we have investigated everything. Well, I guess that just about does it for the crime scene. Hey, Nick. I want to see the rest of the airship. We might as well, since we're here. True. We might even run into some of the other people involved in the case. Oh, hello. The groom, I presume? Nick, how long has that guy been standing there? I didn't even notice him until just now. Excuse me, are you with Sprocket Aviation? Definitely a Lord in Fire Emblem. Look at him. Blue hair. Huh? Nick, he wrote something on that paper airplane. I guess we're supposed to read it then. Let's see here. Get out, intruders. Well, that was a rather cold welcome. Mr. Wright, Maya, meet the lone son of the president of Sprocket Aviation, Soren Sprocket. Or to put it another way, the future president of Sprocket Aviation. So he's Ellen's fiance. Or fiance, whichever one. One is male, one is female, gender-wise. Oh, there he goes. He's kind of an eccentric, yes. I hear he's the genius inventor behind many of Sprocket Aviation's business successes. An inventor, huh? Yep, he even designed this airship. That's pretty impressive. Nick, this is no time to be standing around gawking. We have to go after him. We need to ask him some questions about Ellen. Oh, right. It looked like he was heading outside. Well, bye, Emma. It looks like I'm chasing this guy down. Where's outside? You mean the mooring? Dock? We mean the mooring dock. When we say outside, not the helipad. Just here. There he is. Excuse me, could we talk to you? Excuse me, do you mind if I ask what you're doing? He sure is riding up a storm. It is possible. If an enormous change in mass could be detected at an observation point, then theoretically matter can retain its form, even as it crosses the event horizon. Let's just see what he has to say about Ellen. And so an opportunity to at least pressing with some questions has come up. But I think we'll leave it here and leave that for next time. Soren Sprocket stands before us. We have ourselves a small gathering at last of little bits of evidence. I say a small gathering, it's actually now amounting to 10. Quite a bit has been gained. He appears to be right-handed when we look at the Gloomsbury note. So is that an interesting thing? Does he have a hook? He is writing a hell of a lot. And then we got Ellen's statement too. But still, let's find out more next time on Spirit of Justice. We'll find out more about what really took place. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.